Supreme's gonna leave. I think Supreme leaves, and then I think a bunch
Supreme is leaving Fairfax.
Yep, and I think a bunch of other a bunch of other shops are going to start to leave.
If Supreme leaves, then everyone will leave.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then I think it's going to be like more restaurants and shit.
I think that'd be cool.
It'll never work as restaurants. Parking sucks.
Yeah, but Prime Pizza's there. There's like something in Vinny's, and then
Prime Pizza's okay.
I don't mind it. But
This new
Pizza in
pizza
LA
spot.
is
This
just
new pizza
okay.
spot down the street is. Did you drive by?
Oh,
the new
Dober's?
pizza spot? I don't know
amazing.
anything about the dude, and I won't learn about, and I don't know
so
why.
David Dobrik's a very famous Italian
He's a
pizza maker.
TikTok.
So
Oh, cool.
Yeah, his
So he's
family
YouTube.
hails from Italy. No, it's a family hails from Italy.
Yeah.
It's like a whole like
He was
generational thing. So yeah,
He was on like
pizza.
Chef's Table, right?
Yeah, he was on
Pizza?
Chef's Table. Yeah,
Chef's
yeah.
Table's
him and Anthony Bourdain used to go way back. It was the whole
Oh,
thing.
totally.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that guy.
yeah.
Jonathan Gold.
They brought it over the other day. It was pretty good.
Oh really?
Yeah, I had some.
Oh
It was
damn.
a fat piece of bread.
Yeah,
Sure,
it's
good
thick.
pizza.
Yeah. Okay. Too much.
Well,
bread.
they have Prince Street Pizza, which is never busy. Down
Have
the
you heard?
street.
Oh, did you hear what happened with Prince Street Pizza?
It's actually Duke. He got
welcome
demoted
back
to
to
a
the
Duke.
Comedy Store Doorcast. I'm your host, Luke Schwartz, and we're going to talk pizza with three old heads. To my left, we got Mirvis,
Aloha.
and then across is Steve Furey, and then next to him is Frank Castillo. And welcome back on the pod, everybody.
What up?
And welcome to the pod for the first time, Furey.
This is your first time?
Maybe I did the old rendition.
Remember talking about pizza? If you tip and shout out the Doorcast at the door, we will shout you out on the Doorcast. I didn't get any texts this week, so probably Dave Waite was working a lot. Shout out Mike Z, Big Bad Brad, Shannon, always coming through, showing love. Gino's dropping stuff in the bucket. Shout out Van Corona, doing photos and talking to people all the time and being good.
Really making me look good.
Yeah, and making us
Make
all
us all
look
look
good.
good.
Yeah,
and
dude, it's insane.
and a new pizza place opened up down the street, and it's a YouTuber who's famous, and I just don't know. I just won't. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was okay. It wasn't bad.
I'm sure
I thought
it's
it was
not
great.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
So, but the line
Prince Street is the
The line is Bananasville.
Well, that's because it's all of his fan base. I
Yeah.
wonder how long
Wild.
that's going to be busy.
yeah, that's crazy. But then it's just a cash grab. You get in, get out, get your dough.
Well, yeah, that's what most of Fairfax is. They do. They
How
just
you guys doing?
Yes.
No,
There's
it's
a-
no,
no,
it's not
Tony
on me.
left the
Tony
fucking
left.
room, but he could have done a
He heard pizza.
camera on Steve.
It's all right. I don't deserve it.
I thought it was going to be like another low key like Joe's spot. I thought it was just going to be a regular.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
Would have been nice. They would have been.
I mean, it
Just
might
as
eventually.
successful.
I mean, I feel like this is gonna be like Fat Sal's,
Yeah, right.
where
that
like
makes
Fat
sense.
Sal's for like the first couple months it was fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
I mean, Fat Sal's
but
is still bonkers.
It's still
It's still
busy.
Yeah, but because it's
not
open and it's in a
insane.
good spot.
You ever notice not? I feel like whenever I go there, it's not very many fat people.
Well, I always bring the
lot of
numbers
skinny
up when I go in
a
there.
lot of skinny Sal's over there.
Yeah, I see a lot of skinny people
Well,
eating there.
what are you going to do about it?
I think it could be like kind of like
It's called Sal's.
Get out of here. This is for us.
yeah, I don't know. That's just an observation I always had. I feel like people aren't fat enough to be eating there
There should be
for
like
the
a
food that they
requirement.
serve. Yeah, it just
You
like
must be
seems like
this
you'd be
wide to
fatter.
ride.
You gotta be. You have to weigh this
Seems like you'd
much
be
to even
fatter if
eat
you
here.
ate like
Yeah.
That would be
chicken
a
fingers
nice
and everything.
anti, fat phobia kind of thing, where it was just like a restaurant where you can only be fat if you eat here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 300.
Dude, I've always thought it'd be
too
great
hard.
if there was a
hometown.
a weight
Okay.
requirement.
Yeah, hometown was.
Airline. Like you had to be like, 250 plus to ride this airline, and the seats are all giant, and there's leg room, and it's amazing.
So it's like
it costs
a-
a little bit more,
it's
but
like
like we're all in it together.
So it's like
great.
a recommissioned military
Yeah, it's a
aircraft.
military
cargo.
aircraft.
yeah.
They just drop them out the back.
Right, yeah. Go.
Fury, when did you start working at the Comedy Store?
Probably
Do you remember what year?
probably 6 years ago, maybe 5 or 6.
Think you got hired after me?
Yeah.
I was.
yeah.
I moved here 7 years ago.
Who'd you get hired with?
Oh, yeah. Who's your class?
I think it was just me. It was
that's
just me.
class.
Yeah, because what happened was Jerron left.
Yeah.
So it was just a one for.
There was just a one guy opening, and then I think after me was all the San Diego guys, and then yeah, mine was Jerron was sneakily leaving. Actually, this is a funny story. Well, like he was just like kind of.
Yeah.
I think he was getting banned because like he was such a bad employee. But they're like,
he was about to get fired, and he was doing like 7 minutes on potluck when you're only supposed to do 3.
and so they were
And
like,
I've been guilty of that, and I think we all have, but
Never.
he
I've
did
power
it very
moved to that.
regularly.
Yeah.
With very, very
And then they're like,
and you're
we could-
hosting tonight, Fury. The late.
yeah, that'll be fun, I guess.
I like hosting late part.
I don't know. The early one's fun because you can help
back
people
to
out.
the story of the class that your classmates.
Yeah, then he left and they snuck me in, and I didn't really know anybody except Hormos was the only person I knew.
Who got you hired?
Hormos.
Yeah. Okay.
The cut snuck me in, and then there's this guy here named. He always eats Little Caesars pizzas. You know what I'm talking about?
Darren. Oh,
This man, hold on. This man was when I came out. Darren,
Can you bleep that?
no, I want to talk so
it's a
much
funny.
shit
I'm
about
not even talking shit. I just think it's a funny story.
Yeah. If we're talking shit, then bleep it, and then we'll talk. About
No. So I leave the interview, and he was just coming in with his resume.
He already had
and
the
then
shirt on
I
and
got
everything?
the thing, and then 2 years later, he goes to my mom. He goes, I could have been him.
No, you couldn't.
That's so
suck.
But that's also just like
I was
what
like,
an
this is the most-
interesting thought.
Yeah, what a psychotic thing to say.
yeah.
Or just even that you thought that just because I got there 5 minutes before you was the only reason I got the job.
Yeah.
Well, here's the
It's
thing
just a
about
crazy thing.
guys like him that you bring it up, and actually it was a note that I put on, is there's this weird thing of there's comics that are trying to get in and that do the potluck, and then there's people who are moving to do other spots, and there's this weird group of people who are just here all the time, and then they buy the Comedy Store shirts and they wear them and they walk around like they're a door guy. And I remember he did that shit. He would always, and he'd post pictures of himself at the store and all that stuff, and I was like, hey man, you're not
An employee.
you're not even supposed to be back here, and yet you feel so comfortable. And a lot of people overstep that bound and they do it, but not a lot of people want to be rude and say something about it. And it's so wild.
It used to be
It was
so
always
much.
normal and fine to me, but
Yeah, but
I'm
it's
sure he
also
came to
like-
the bar a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that buy comic store stuff and hang out at the bar and can help
Right.
tourists and stuff. They're like,
Oh,
let me show you where the bathroom is.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Like a concierge, no one asked
Yeah.
for.
It's like exactly volunteer concierge. Just this is the original room, and it's like the main room.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, just be chill and hang out.
Yeah,
Be
you hear him
funny.
telling stories
Yeah.
oh yeah, back when it was
Sam
founded.
Kinison. Yeah,
Yeah,
Bullet,
Kinison
Sam
was
Kinison,
always
Bullet.
him. Robin Williams was over here doing lines.
That's
I'm
awesome.
What are you talking about?
That's great.
So what would those people? What are those people called? You know what I mean? Because they weren't friends and family.
Ding-dongers?
Yeah, I mean, because people just living in their own world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Patio posers.
Or you'll start patio posers.
Patio
is
Patio
amazing.
posers.
What was amazing is when you'd work the door. That was actually another question I had was legendary moments as a door guy that made you remember why you fell in love with comedy and why this is such a special place. Like watching Dave pop in or someone huge like the Seinfeld
Letterman.
thing. Yeah, Letterman. And
He's been here before.
Yeah.
yes, and or big moments like that, and how it means so much as being a door guy and stuff. And then you'll see someone like them post and be like, "It was so cool seeing and blah blah blah." And you're just
Whatever.
like, "What
Let
are you
him
doing?"
have it.
Yeah.
I don't
believe
care.
the term
I'm not
that
gonna.
was keyed was Palmer.
Palmer,
Palmer's,
yes, a
yeah.
Palmer, yes, a Palmer.
Palmer.
Chifang Chow.
Thank Chow. These fucking Palmers.
Earl. Yeah.
Earl and
I mean, he's doing Earl saying
Yeah, yeah.
Palmer. Yeah. Dave Letterman came through here one time, and Guam came around the corner and goes, "Guys, David Letterman is here. Move out of the way." And David Letterman was right behind him. He wasn't being slick at it at all. And then Jessica Wellington was
Got a megaphone.
yeah, exactly. And Jessica Wellington was like, "Oh my God, are you
Attention.
David Letterman?" And it's like, yes, he just said it.
Yeah.
And he looks very much like
spot on,
that.
He
Dave
just
Letterman.
It'd be
said it.
if you saw Slash and be like, "Hey, Slash is here."
Yeah.
Clearly, yes, we can all see the
Yeah,
fucking.
move the guy with the
But
top
just,
hat. Where's
just
Slash?
not being chill about it.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
being
Yeah.
excited. It's like
that's
just
one
be
of the
professional.
things-
This
one of the
building
things with
is
the
really
store.
unprofessional.
It's like when you're, it's like when you're just chilling and someone sees like a deer in the wild and you're like, shh, don't freak out. Just let it be.
That one
And
person's
then
like, "Holy shit! Look at that deer!"
yeah, great.
That's one of the things about the store that there, a lot of celebrities come through here, or at least used to come through here, is it was chill.
Yeah.
No one flipped out. Oh, here's some big Leonardo DiCaprio type. And we're all here kind of being like, oh, whatever. Really almost forcing you to be like, oh, we're so cool, whatever, Leo.
Yeah.
And
But jaded is the good one.
jaded, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that hasn't been the case as much since the pandy. But I feel like some more and more, Kevin Bacon was here the other day.
Oh, T.I. was here the other day.
Whoa.
No,
T.I. being here is
The bassist from Bayside? No.
more annoying than
oh yeah,
anything
you met your
else.
Bayside friends.
Yeah. Well,
Craig
there's-
Cool was here, dude.
Craig Cool was here.
Lamb of
That
God.
was fucking cool.
Lamb
That
of
was
God
straight cool.
Lamb of God was
That was
here.
very something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
so all
just
those-
played.
YouTube Theater.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to go to that.
There'll be some good people, I think, recently.
The new album is fucking
Oh,
great.
here's something that happened this week was when celebrities pop at the store and they become big, and then you see who they really are once they get money.
Who's the
and what
person you're
they
talking
really-
about? What up, Rich?
I don't know if I want to say who it was, but
You could say and then delete it, right?
I can, but I don't trust Tony to. I don't know if Tony's going to bleep that name from the first part. I remember the.
Yeah, do the
thank
one the
you. I
first part.
appreciate
We don't need
it.
to roast that guy. He doesn't have much.
She comes in and she is very much like she was always had kind of an attitude, but is now very much like, I'm on my success bullshit and fuck you, and I have money. And I have money and fuck you, and everything, like everyone should be kind of bowing down to me. And I was just like,
I think I know
One
who
of,
this is.
like, if there's one of
I
the
think,
three
she
people.
uses, I think she uses a different name. Well, I
I'm
know.
sure. And no, she doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not and but she just
Oh, I know it is.
so I was cleaning up the main room. Shout out to Thirster, by the way. Thank you, Thirster, always supporting us.
Pellegrino?
Back
It's
in
a
the
Pellegrino,
green room,
I
in the
don't know what
main
you're
room,
talking
and I walk in, the show's over. I'm just kind of cleaning up, and it was a Tripoli show, and so there's always like stuff back there. I was trying to look see if there was any chicken or yeah.
Like
Of
that
course, you know
chicken?
exactly who it is. But she goes, yeah. It's just I walk in, and she's like, "I'll take another vodka, please."
Nope, not the person I thought it was.
I'll take another vodka and lemon or whatever, something like that. And I was like, you will? This is a person I like who was blowing up to a certain point that I had her on me and Stuart's show at the Improv, our old talk show. And so I have one of her old phone numbers. I've interacted with her for a while. I don't expect her to know my name. I don't expect her to order me
Think you're a
around.
server.
Yes.
Did she think you were a server, or did she specifically was like, oh, Luke's here, I can just have him go grab me a drink?
No, I don't think so. I think she just like didn't even look at me. And so that's what I was really like, I'm sorry, I'm not I was like perfectly polite and everything, but like a little miffed.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I just like, oh, you will? And she's like, yeah, go, you work here. You could go do a thing. Like, well, get me something. And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. Like, it's not, that's okay. And I didn't even want a chicken tender, but I picked up a chicken tender and like bit it and left and walked out. And I felt okay about that. But it was like a real, like, it was a little moment that I was like, oh, this is who you are now.
I think it's kind of interesting
money.
to see how now with Instagram, people are just blowing up. Like, and it's cool to see. Like, Jesus just hit 100K on Instagram.
Yeah.
And
He's doing
then
a lot of fun, different kind of
yeah,
things.
he was doing a lot of
too.
things.
He
So
was on the
it's,
cover of AARP magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was stuck at 40 for a long
his
time.
YouTube show's great on,
well, he blew up Jason
Taco
Cheney's
Toto.
at like $1.80. He's
Yeah,
got
which
Ralph
is crazy.
Barbosa.
Yeah,
It's
which
crazy.
is so wild. It's good to see Jason Cheney rocking.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to see now people blow up and it's not even an industry thing. You just see your buddy doing normal shows and then now he's like, you see him like, hey, we added a second show. And you're like, what? Who the fuck? We added a second show?
It's a good
like,
feeling.
hey, we ordered a third show. And it's like, whoa, this is great. That how much it can just come now and there's no gatekeepers.
No, there isn't. There isn't any gatekeepers. Well, I mean, I still think there are. It just depends on what it is.
Yeah.
I think the industry doesn't know what's going on and they don't know what they want and they just see everything that's happening.
I think they are just, are you okay? You're destroying your.
Yeah, I got
phone thing?
OCD stuff.
Oh, okay. You ripped it up.
In great shape.
Yeah.
I think the industry does what they do, and you just got to do whatever else you're like. It's just once you start getting like older than all of them, I'm like, oh, they don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, 100%.
They're just fucking idiots. So I just
Yeah.
try and be good at whatever. I don't.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just I have so little faith in the industry.
Oh,
as a
absolutely.
thing. And not even in a bad way. I'll support all my friends getting it or whatever.
Yeah. I will support my
They
friends.
get it right and they
getting
get it wrong, and they're just, it's just, I don't know. I don't agree with them all.
I don't
the
even know
time.
if there is like the industry doesn't really matter. Like
That's
you see
right.
people doing like Corden and
100%.
they get maybe 500 more followers, and you see some guy get a random stand-up clip and they get 30,000, and then
Right.
you're like, oh,
Yeah,
so none of
that's
it
a
really
different thing that
matters.
I'm talking
anymore.
about, but
Yeah.
also it ties into it for sure. But there is that kind of fame. But I'm sick.
better.
I've never scrolled faster on my Instagram than when I see a clip. I just like can't. I don't like, but I also
yeah.
can't. I have a problem staying in the room as a door guy anyway. So
There's so many
Ruined
clips of
cock
just
stand-up.
hecklers now.
Yeah, it's just
And that's all people are hoping is that they get a good heckler experience. and then they can put subtitles on it.
Well, the thing I was saying was how much of it, because we watch it switch from posting bits, and then they're like, we don't want to burn material, so then they post crowd work, and then you start to see
Right.
people
That's a
start,
valid argument.
and then you see
But then
people
they open
start
pizza
to,
places.
yeah, and then you see people start to try to like
We're gonna get hooked up from that pizza place eventually.
they try to catch those viral moments. Now, what I feel like I'm starting to see is people like purposely try to catch those moments in the sense where it's like, oh, you're doing questions after,
Yeah, they're like baiting it.
after set,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean? You're not like full on doing like.
They got
Yeah, they're
two cameras.
stacking the deck. I'm like, all right.
Like, listen. When someone throws something at you and you got a 3-camera angle set up and there's a slow motion shot and fucking like, you know what I mean? Like a close up on your face as it passes you.
Sure.
It's like, all right, calm down. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, you have 3 different plants, all ready to throw beer bottles.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Right. And then you get.
I don't think it's having plants, but I definitely think it is like
Well, right.
making
I
a
just
situation.
don't think it's fair that you know how we always complain with that people aren't allowed to film us without us knowing. Why are we allowed to film people when we do crowd work to them? Like, does this guy, or not even a heckler, like when you're asking someone how, like, you know, sometimes that you'll see one of these clips and it'll be like, so, like, you
So what do you
fucking
do
this
for
girl?
work? Yeah.
And what if that's not his girl? And he's like, had no idea he was going to be in this question.
It's
and
his
you're just
second
putting.
comedy show he's ever been to.
Yeah,
The first one was
yeah.
4
And
years
now he's
ago.
on
He kind of
fucking
liked
the
it.
internet
Now
because he
he's on
said,
Front Street. Yeah.
because he couldn't remember how long he was dating his
.com.
girlfriend, so he called you
yeah.
a fucking idiot. It was just like,
And that's
I
got
just don't
10
think it's
million
fair.
views.
It is a real bummer when I seat people in the front row and they're like, oh, I don't want to sit in the front. I go, don't worry,
Yeah.
it's gonna be fine. Don't wor-" And then like someone gets up right away, second comic, they're like,
Yeah.
fuck you, what do you fucking do, you fucking prick? And they're like, God, I just
The guy said it's like cool.
I was fine, yeah. So that's why I tell people when I seat them now, I'm like, hey, they're like, oh, if they're scared, I'm like, don't be scared. And if anyone fucks with you, they're bad at their job. So I just sit them there. So I just kind of like lay a little trap for
Whoever.
somebody who's
Yeah,
an
yeah.
asshole.
I love it if someone talks to you like, well, you know, the door guy said you were terrible at your job. And you're something
And that would crush, man. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah. I've been doing intros for a certain piano player, just talking because they're not the best public speaker, and I'll like introduce the first comic, and and then he'll play the thing, but like they're just so clueless that they're like, I introduce the person, I give the thing every 15 minutes. You're gonna see a new comic back to back to back. Give it up to your first funny comic, Alex Hanna. And then the piano player just starts clapping. And I was like, I turned to him, I said, play the piano. It's your job here. And it just like made just bad timing. And I wrote this down like, man, Jeff Scott, we really took that for
You
granted.
had no idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I miss him so much.
He made the show run smooth, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, about half the show.
When he was there.
Yeah.
And then he was getting blackout drunk
He
in the
started
back
off
patio.
the show well.
My
That's what I
fa-
say
my-
every time. He
my
would put
favorite-
the chord in a certain way on the stage, man.
Oh, yeah, he really cared about it. He really took care of the stage and,
Yeah.
and made sure everything. He cared about the comics. One of my favorites was sitting in the back, and when he'd come back and forth, and he'd see someone that wasn't supposed to be there, he'd be like, "Who the fuck's this guy?" Like if you were sitting next to him, he'd be like, "Who the fuck's this guy?"
Yeah, he would never confront him, too. He would always talk about them 2 feet in front
Oh
of him.
my god! I
Who
mean,
do you think this fucking asshole is?
once we're off camera, I'll tell you something he said about someone that I think of every single day whenever I see them.
You can't tell a story without any names.
No, because it's gonna be pretty obvious.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I was missing I was also wondering, like, who you thought when you were working, who'd you like to watch, and who are your favorite, like, closers of the main room?
Oh, I mean,
Or OR. Do you have any Don? Like,
I mean, obviously watching
is-
Don
Don
was
is
the
special.
best. Don is the best. It's special.
we always miss Brody, but
Brody was great.
Saw Darren Carter do it recently, and I was really a fan.
Darren
Getting
is.
a party.
I mean,
Darren's great, man.
That's the after hours
The
party.
light thing that he
Positive
had was
energy
kind
where
of fun.
negative energy. I think I've said this before. I've gone on record, but I like that. That's a good look for the club.
and you know what? I even said, I mean, him. I mean, I don't think we ever argue about this, but I tell to people about this too, where it was like, you know, you want to talk about artistic integrity, that's fine. But Darren Carter is one of my favorite people to watch.
Darren Carter party starter.
And I watched him crush
Favorite people
midnight.
to watch is a perfect way to put it.
And well, yeah. He's because even at midnight, tired crowd set. I've watched him turn around like it was 9 o'clock again, and I had to go up and still had a great set. But just being like, Darren, you're so like he's such a positive.
He
Yeah.
starts a freaking party. Brings
really-
The flashlight is a lot of
and
fun.
he's good at beatboxing. What are you
Yeah.
gonna do? Beatboxing is part of his persona. He practices.
Guilty-
He walks around every day.
Guilty pleasure, dude. Guilty pleasure.
Yeah, very wholesome pleasure.
Yeah.
Like it's very much like eating your bran flakes. You
Like-
know, it's like good cereal.
The same
it's
kind of-
raisin bran. It has sugar in the raisin. It's
The
good.
same kind of feeling I get when I'd watch Steve Simone.
Steve Simone, my favorite Christian. Really good comedian, and then also
Great storyteller.
would go to church and bring people from his church to hang out here, but wouldn't talk about religion ever.
No.
It's like great,
true.
that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That way.
Yeah,
that's my favorite
just
Oh,
some
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Then he would bring cool people. He would bring people that wouldn't go see comedy to a comedy show, and then he'd talk about moms and dads and fucking crush. It was great.
Pizza and sleepovers.
Pizza, sleepovers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd watch him
He's a good watch.
melt cold hearts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, they're talking about pillow forts and friendship.
You guys come on. Yeah.
So good.
Who else do you?
My favorite when I worked here was always liked watching. I mean, when Theo was breaking, when he was getting famous, that shit was so fucking funny
Brad
when he was
Pitt
doing
story?
Oh my God.
and the hamsters,
Hamsters.
and then doing coke with the trans chick, and then the
And the
acid with his
taxi, yeah.
parents, and then Fahim
The
obviously.
monkeys of in his hometown.
Yeah, the monkeys. And then now it would be Ian Bagg would be the guy like.
Yeah, I like watching Ian Bag too.
Well, he's the guy that doesn't set up crowd. He's an OG crowd worker.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
real crowd work.
Yeah.
It's not like
He's like a
going into a bit.
Canadian Rick Ingram.
Yeah, but Rick Ingram sets up material.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
he
he's-
just goes.
he's
Ian just
Bag
does
goes
crowd
crowd
work.
work. Yeah.
Ian has
And he
has
can do 2
phrases,
hours
but he
of
just has a lot more in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
terms wise,
Yeah.
whatever. But we
He's
see
got a
the
bag of
same
tricks.
from Rick. But Rick has his bag of tricks and he does it
Yeah,
perfectly.
Yeah, Rick has a bag of chips. Ian has
He
a
does it perfect. Yeah.
trunk.
But yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Ian Bagg's fun to watch. I mean, yeah, early Theo was really.
It was fun watching.
It was really
him blow
special
up.
watching that
It was
shit.
yeah, it was special watching him pop.
Brent Morin when he was pop.
Yeah.
When he was on the way up was
Yeah.
some of the best.
Like pre-undateable.
Right,
Yes.
right, yeah, right when he was
When
starting
he
to get
when
yeah.
he heard when he was filming Undateable, he was still good.
Yeah, he was still good.
And before Undateable, that's how he got it. That's how he got a
He
show
was-
centered around him and whoever.
I remember having a
punches.
very good conversation with him as a door guy that I felt helped me and not leveled me up, but it just it made me think
He was
differently.
quick comedy.
Hilarious. He was just can you be white? No.
Get rid of it.
But what were there any conversations you guys had with headliners or any moments like that you were oh, okay, and it I don't know, maybe made you think a different way or helped you in comedy a little bit?
Kirk Fox is.
Yes.
Kirk
Yes.
Fox,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fox
Kirk
is-
Fox
He's got a
always-
lot of nuggets.
Anytime I've ever talked to Kurt Fox, I've always
Yeah.
walked away with something.
Saget.
Yep.
I had
cool.
some good conversations with Saget because if he was there and an open micer would be walking by him, they're hey, I like comedy. He's let me talk to you for 45 minutes about it.
Yeah, he was one of those guys.
Yeah, he
he's
just
a
loves
nerd.
talking. Yeah, he's a nerd. He's a big
He really
comedy
liked
nerd.
his job and he was a nerd.
Yeah, and yeah, some sage wisdom from him. But Kirk is. I feel like
Kirk
He's-
has put me in my place more than a
I've been
couple
there
times.
for it.
Kurt put me in my place
I've
too.
been there
once.
watching him get put in his
yeah,
place.
yeah.
And I'm just this is kind of nice.
Oh yeah.
I'm just writing down the things that apply to me. I'm just
Yeah, it's
laughing
great,
at
yeah.
the other shit.
I had to take. Yeah, I've taken a couple big L's with Kirk. That's okay. I've really.
Hey man,
calmed
it's
down.
all leveling up though.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
What did he say?
Oh, don't do this. Stuff like that.
yeah.
Think about stuff. Yeah, for sure. He's good, and he goes, "Okay, man. If you say something about yourself, he'll go, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you think that, and you're like,
Yeah. Ouch. I guess
I do kind of think that. You'll say I'm 5'8", and he goes, okay, if you think so.
Then you're am I 5 foot?
No,
8?
I am. I know I am. I'm 5'8". It
Sure,
sucks.
yeah, okay.
It sucks being 5'8". Yeah, Kirk's done a big talking to. Who else is interesting?
I think anyone cool.
There was one time.
Yeah.
Martin? Martin was I love your stuff, Luke.
There was one time. This was a long time ago. This was maybe
There's Martin's.
2012, 2013 or something. Back when we had like 2 shows a night and nothing was sold
I
out.
started in 013. Yeah.
Yeah, like dark days. And Dave Attell came by.
Yeah.
And I'm bartending the patio, and it's wintertime. So there's like nobody out there. We didn't have heaters.
No security.
back then. There's no security. No heaters in the patio.
Of course no
Like,
heaters.
It's cold.
It's a barren wasteland
yeah.
Get
on
inside.
Sunset.
We need you inside.
Yeah.
Get a
I'm
warm
just-
body in there, for Christ's sake.
I'm just out there. He's out there, and there's nobody else out there. And I just keep getting him coffee, and we're just like talking for like 2 hours. And like people would kind of like leave the OR to come down to get drinks because there were no waitresses. Because who the fuck knows where they went?
There was probably one waitress.
Yeah, there's probably one waitress, and she's probably out back smoking weed with Jeff. And so people were coming down.
Tommy.
Yeah. Wow.
Well,
Wow.
And Attell bought every single person's drink.
No way.
Yeah, he bought like maybe 15, 20 people.
Sick.
He bought every single person's
What
drink
a great-
and tipped fat on every drink. And I'm just getting him more and more coffee, and we're just like talking shop. Like I'm like picking his brain, and I'm just like Attell was one of the main reasons I got into comedy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, as so many people can say. And it's funny watching comics go up to him and be like, "Oh, you're the reason I got into comedy." He's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, so did the whole New York
Haven't heard
scene.
this before.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like talking to him about like coming up in New York and like what he thought the difference between New York and LA was.
That's fun.
All of a sudden it was just like, I've had the fucking comedy boner the whole time.
Yeah.
And when he leaves, he left in a fucking yellow cab. Like very New York. Yeah.
in front of the hotel.
It's set in
No,
New York.
he called the
Oh
cab.
no!
He called
On
the
his
yellow
cell phone
cab.
that's a flip?
Yeah,
His
yeah,
flip
on a
cell
clam,
phone?
on a
He
clam
still has a
phone,
flip.
yeah. And he tried to tip me when he was leaving, and I'm like, nah, man, you tipped me like 1,000 times. Like this has been more than a tip
really.
than anything.
Imagine
you could
if
do.
you were like, "Come on, a little more."
Yeah. And he's like, all right, man, well, nice chatting with you. See you later. And he goes in his cab, and I bust his coffee cup. It's $200 sitting under the coffee cup, folded up, and I'm like, you sneaky son of a gun.
Yeah, dude, he's great.
That's that's a legend.
Yeah, snuck
Always
me
brings
$200.
candy. Always brings candy. It was my father's favorite when he showed up. My dad never asked for pictures for anyone, but he was like, I have to get a picture from him. Can I
Wow.
please? And I was like, yeah. And I asked him, and he was like, absolutely. Talked to my pops, gave him, the whole thing. It really made it special for my father. And I
Wow.
thought that was really fucking
Cool.
cool. He doesn't
Damn.
have to do shit like that, and he did. And I was like, that's
Yeah.
yeah. And I hate asking people for shit like that.
Me too. It's
See headliners. It's not so hard.
Yeah, just be
Yeah.
cool.
The biggest headliners in the world. It's so easy to be cool and rich.
it's always frustrating when you see
Nice
like
to everybody.
you're on social media and you see like the people that are always here, like the people that work here, comics that are always around here, with pictures of all these huge celebrities, and I'm like, man, I don't have like a single photo.
Yeah,
with
but you have
fucking anybody.
Memories to
I
last
have
a
a couple
lifetime.
here and there.
It'd be kind of nice to have like one picture with somebody.
I got one from Janice from Friends was here.
Nice.
Took that one, and I got one from Van from the Reba show. Those are the only 2 I ever
Wow,
took.
two
I like going.
Honestly.
I like
You're
going
deep
deeper,
track,
so it
yeah.
makes their day.
Yeah.
That's a really good niche because I've never heard of either of those people.
I've heard both.
Yeah, you know.
Janice.
Janice.
Chandler's old
Right,
boyfriend.
Chandler's old-
Her girlfriend.
Just wasn't one of mine.
And
my
then
shows. Just
Van
missed it,
Van
yeah.
is like the white trash Kramer. It's incredible.
I like Jeff
incredible.
Kramer.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because then there's no. It's almost like I have the power. I'm like, hey, you
no,
want to
I
take
know
a picture?
you. That's always
Yeah.
a good move when you see like a B star. Like I
Yeah.
saw a guy I knew from Misfits, and now he's in the Umbrella Canada.
Yeah.
Just like a
that
good,
show.
yeah. He's
Oh,
the
yeah,
skinny
yeah. I know who.
English
Yeah, I
dude.
love that guy.
And it was before the Umbrella Academy, which
Yeah.
I think is just so. But the Misfits was
Miss
really
was
cool.
so good.
And he was just. I was like, I like you, Misfits, and he's like, yeah, man, that's cool. I was like, yeah, fuck it.
Kiefer Sutherland showed up randomly one night with
pretty cool.
to watch what's her name, Marilyn Rice Cub.
Cool.
And she didn't know
Oh,
he was.
right.
She had no idea he was going to show up.
24 Connect.
Yeah, he walked
Yeah.
in with 2 women on his arm, like a fucking G dog. It came
Yeah.
in, watched their set, had
Jack
fun.
Bauer.
He walks
Yeah.
out and like. Everyone's like saying hi to him, and I had to say something, so I walked up and I was like, "Hey, man, I love your work." I was like, "I was a big fan of you in the new Metal Gear Solid," because he ended up taking over the role and being the new voice for the whole game.
Oh, word.
And he was like, though he like stopped and like looked at me and was like, "Thanks, man, that's really cool." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, dog!" And even Earl
Great
was like,
voice, yeah.
Earl was like. He was like that. He was like, I saw that. That was fucking cool. He was like, he stopped. He shook everyone, but he stopped to be like, that's cool, because that was like such a very specific fucking role.
That's fun. Fun to get him with. Yeah. So you know he likes himself if he knows.
Yeah.
If he knows he did that, that's cool. But he's still cool. That's funny about it. One time I was working a Turn Up Tuesday, and a guy came in. I was just doing the spiel like regular, and he goes, "Hey man, you don't have to tell me anything. I know everything. It's all good." And he handed me 100, and he's like, "I'm OT, man." And he walked in, it was OT Genesis. I was like, "Oh, that's great."
That's fun.
I was like, "Yeah." He's like,
He
"You'll
probably
never
get
have to
100
worry
back
about
now.
me, man. I got you." Like he was like really like, "I'm gonna do everything right. Don't even worry about it." I was like, "Okay, cool, wow."
All right, there's still like 400 more people here, so let me talk to the MOT. I understand you're gonna be cool, but there's about 300 other people in the
Yeah. Oh,
It was in a lull time, so I was like, whatever, because it comes in waves.
I do have one specific memory from you and me, with you and me actually. It was I think it was a Louis C.K. show. We were
Never heard of him.
we were seating. I think you were working the cover booth, and I remember I'm sitting there and the show starting, and I see you peek your head out, and you're like, "Hey man, is there any way we can squeeze just one person?" And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
no man." And you're like, "Please." And I'm like, "Who is it?" And right when I say who is it, he sticks his head out the door, and it's what's his name?
Zach Wood.
Zach Wood from fucking Silicon Valley
cool.
and a whole
And-
bunch of other
and-
shit.
yeah.
And I love him too. And I was like, all right. And I went set, and he was like, "Thank you so much." And I looked at him and I go,
I was like, I put him in the way back near the green room entrance.
Yeah, that spot's always open because there's no table there.
Yeah.
when he was leaving, he was like, "Can I go out the back door?" I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "Thank you." And I looked at him and I go, "One of these days we're going to be in a room together, and I'm going to have to read something. Please remember me." And he was like,
Did you
"All
actually
right."
say
Fuck
that?
yeah, I did. I was like, "I'm Mexican. You're not gonna. There's not a lot of us." It was like, okay.
Wow. Very interesting.
It's like, are you the guy that threatened me at the comedy store?
He's in a room with Jesus Trejo. He's like, "Not this guy. Not this guy."
He goes, I think he's talking to a
me
server at like some restaurant. He's like, he's just a racist guy. He just thinks every guy. He's like, is this the guy? Is this the same guy?
Dude, Zach Woods is a funny dude. I did
He's very
a,
fun. He doesn't famously. I think he doesn't do podcasts.
Really?
He doesn't ever do it.
I did a kids show with him. It was Andrew WK had a kids
Oh, yeah.
show
On Cartoon
And it was-
Network?
No, it was like a YouTube thing, and it was called Meet Me at the Rec or something like that. Like the recreation center. It was like a science show.
Meet
for
me in
kids.
the Parts and Rec. Yeah.
And my episode was Zach Woods, Jack Black, and Bobby Lee.
Okay.
And I played a Sasquatch, and Zach Woods played an alien.
Okay.
And we both had like extensive makeup. So me and him were like getting makeup done the whole time, and sort of just like chatting. And like he is very much his character from Silicon Valley. Like that is the most Zach Woods. He's like this kind of off, like neurotic sort of dude. Lots of inquisitive dude. Lots of like kind of off the beaten path questions about kind of everything, and like really, really friendly though.
I love it.
Yeah, he was a rad dude, and like funny, but
I
like
hear
without
his improv is unbelievable.
yeah, funny without really trying to
That's
be.
how he got cast and everything. Is his improv is unbelievable.
Yeah,
I think I can't remember who I had a
it's
conversation
like
with
all of
this
his
about.
outtakes are great.
Where bad improv's fucking the worst, but like good, solid, like improv where you're like, okay, like his, because I also watch, oh God, who was Matt Walsh's improv team?
UCB.
ASCAT, right?
Yeah, it's cat.
Yeah, I used to watch this shit all the time. That was so great. Matt Walsh is one of my favorite improvisers.
Is Ascot still going? Is
don't
UCB
like him.
Yes.
Franklin's still open.
Yeah.
Is Franklin still over?
Franklin's still open. They
okay.
still got shows all the time. Well, the shows now, yeah, they're doing shows.
Are they the,
Cool. That little
There's good.
that
a
little
lot of
theater's
good-
awesome.
I mean, just like, what's worse, bad stand up or bad improv? I don't know.
Bad improv.
Bad improv is
Bad
no
improv's
jokes.
worse,
Stand up
'cause
police are jokes.
bad stand up? It's
usually-
still pretty fun to watch someone
Usually,
bomb.
someone in a bad improv. I have more fun because I know someone in there. Like I watch them suffer. Like it's, but I don't like It's not as good when I watch bad. Bad stand up to me is just like bad and unentertaining, and this person is bad. Because in a team, you can usually find like, oh, it's a group of people, they suck.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So wait, is there a better question of like what's better to watch bombing, stand up or improv?
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I feel like the median for improv is kind of bombing, maybe. No, because the audiences are so good. I feel like
Yeah,
no.
and,
the
but
audience
there's
is
a
great.
lot of stand up that is built
Yeah.
on bombing. Half
Yeah.
the like negative comics you'll see who have it built into their act. Like, what the fuck? You guys fucking suck. And then it's like, that joke just did well. Why are you mad at the audience? Just
I feel like stand-up audiences aren't as good as improv audiences. Like improv audiences are like yes, we're here to laugh.
Maybe that's
a lot more welcoming, a lot more
Yeah.
open to whatever.
support.
Yeah, just very supportive.
support for sure.
Where like stand-up audiences are
a lot
like,
less
all right,
tourists.
Yeah.
I
make
guess.
me laugh.
Yeah.
And like stand-up artists in Los Angeles, if they're not tourists, they're people who live in Los
Industry,
Angeles.
yeah.
So they're like very unimpressed with, you know what I mean? They just fucking talk to Brad
maybe-
Pitt.
I
I don't think LA crowds are that bad.
They're not that bad, but they're not that great.
I feel like
It just depends. If they're tourists
okay.
or like fun people, yeah.
Florida sucks more.
I had so much fun in Florida.
I never did.
Yeah, I'm okay talking to people that live in the city or visiting the city.
Yeah, I like that.
It's
Gives me a wide spread because there's people
Yeah.
from everywhere, and then also I got some people that are local.
I do like the audience coming to me to see us here. That-
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that people come to see like
People seek out the store.
or like just like people are coming to LA, so they want to have like an LA thing, and but of course people seek out. It's the mecca of. I don't.
No,
love
I mean,
that.
like people at the front bar every single day. People at the front bar are like, man, dude, I'm so fucking pumped to be here. We came in from Boise, Idaho, or we came from
Tulsa.
wherever the hell.
Yeah.
And they're
That's
like
cool.
I've
That's
always,
cool.
I always listen about this on podcasts. And I'm just a comic there, and like we finally were able to we saved up and came out to LA to come here.
And they're like, "Can I get a water?"
Yeah,
Here's 2 on 50.
yeah, they usually come 2 nights in a row.
Yeah.
a lot of times,
Yeah, that's cool.
They'll do the main room one night or the next night or something like that.
It's cool.
And I can tell it's, especially after the pandemic, I think things are changing because people are starting to definitely watch the Showtime doc. I think people definitely did watch it, but I think a lot more
Really?
people are starting to watch. Yeah. Because I've had people come and recognize me from the doc or recognize other people that were in the doc or just be like,
I've gotten it once, like in a big way, like where someone was like, "Oh, I know you from the thing," and I was like, "Okay, wow, interesting."
yeah, right?
That's nice.
Does it still feel weird? Like, not like surreal in a sense? Right?
Well, no, because like I say on here all the time, and like I'm sure I said in the doc, like you get recognized, and then you start cleaning up their trash afterward. Like I have gloves on, I'm throwing their bottle.
Yeah, thank you very
in a
much. The
Clearly not
bathroom's that way.
recycling. Yeah, I was I killed on this show at an improv. I think it was a George Perez show, and he packed it out, and I just like murdered and like. After the show, like people going up and like I was like standing by like a proud pilot, Southwest. Yeah, I did land the plane. You're fucking welcome. And like everyone's going, great man, that was so good, so good. And then like 3/4 of the way through, like people going, yeah. Some guy was like, hey, man. I was like, hey. He's like, where's the bathroom? I was like, it's over there. And he's like, cool. He didn't recognize me at all. And then I was like, okay, great.
The worst is like someone will do something here, and I'll switch back into door guy mode. Like, I'll be like, hey, man, you can't go in the parking lot. But then I just look like a normal ass dude. And it's like, the person's like, who are you? I'm like, I don't know.
I take that to other restaurants and bars and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's
I go,
good.
the bathroom is over there, and you shouldn't stand over there. That people are coming in and out. And they're like,
bartender's
can
like-
I help you? Like they're just another customer.
I work as a door guy
And
at
it's
this
like,
store.
I'm an employee somewhere. So
I do this professionally.
yeah, I'm going to kick you out of you get them
yeah.
kicked out of like whatever.
Actually, you know what? I did see. I'm not gonna say which headliner it was, but I remember there was one very cool thing that this person did, and it was someone started heckling in the show, and it was. The comic wasn't on stage. They were in the back just watching another comic. Someone was heckling, and the comic got up out of the bucket seats, walked up to the person, was like, you can't heckle, you need to leave. And the person was so blown away because it was someone they just saw that was like in the biggest spot.
cool.
So they were like, and the guy was like, yeah, no, you gotta get, like, close your chat, get the fuck out. Like, you can't be, you're ruining the show. You need to leave now. And the guy was like, oh, okay, so do, and he was like, no, get up or I'm gonna, and like, it was like,
Whoa.
yeah, it was like, oh,
like
oh
that.
shit.
Former
yeah.
door guy?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So just laying
Just
down
a
the law.
headliner, just laying down the law. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty sick.
Are there some all-time bombs you remember here?
I mean, have you?
Or did you have any like all-time favorite like guys who would just eat? There was a guy. I mean, Barry Diamond used to just like go up and be very interested, like not great.
yeah.
Very uninteresting.
Barry would just like, oh.
Did we talk about the Hormoz Renee situation that happened last Pollock?
I don't know.
Were you here for that?
I don't know.
I
You
don't
want
know.
me to tell you? I
Yeah.
can tell you. It was really
Yeah,
good. It
well, I
wasn't,
didn't hear about that.
it wasn't anything like crazy bad. It was.
They
So,
sucked each other up on stage.
have we told that story? yet?
Yeah, that only happened to one person I know on a certain holiday.
Happy Halloween.
Oh man, that's for the heads.
Yeah, no, it's a trick or treat.
Oh, smashing these pumpkins. All right. So it was potluck, full room,
Yeah.
pretty cool. Alex Hanna's hosting, doing really good.
Yeah.
And then Hormuz goes up. I love Hormuz. He's my brother. He has that abortion joke. It was kind of heavy-handed. But for some of this audience was like, they're pretty good. They like, they weren't like weird about it or anything. They were like going along with it. But one lady like starts booing, right?
Sure.
And Hormuz, instead of like hitting her with like a 4 or anything, he like full on just hits her with the 12.
Yo, he's been doing that,
He was just like, he was like,
and
you
I say it
should
with
have.
all love too.
Yeah, he was like, you should have been aborted, all this stuff. She was like, I have 2 kids, I love, blah, blah. I'm glad I didn't abort them. He was like, well, they should have been aborted too. Just leaning into it.
Yeah.
She was like, my kids are 19 and 17. He was like, they're probably out date raping women right now, right? Just going in, and we're all just like, oh, all right,
the crowd is.
So the crowd's very like, because they
Yeah.
don't like this woman because she's ruining the show.
They don't like her,
He's been-
dislike her
They're-
that
yeah.
much.
It's
But
just
they
like, this is
also-
like Trump
they
or
don't hate
Biden.
her.
It's two bad choices.
So it's very like, right? And so Hormo's still leaning into her. And then there's a moment where the lady goes, is anyone going to stand for this? And Hormo goes, yeah. Is anyone going to stand for this? And at that moment, you see the audience kind of go like, oh, we still don't really like her. And then he goes, yeah, bitch, you see, no one's here for you. And everyone just goes, So, right, it's an odd energy.
So this is what I'm talking about: the improv versus stand-up. Like
So-
some people, some are negative. and
So,
yeah,
I mean, but
there's
also
some
I get it.
negative shit.
I've had a bad, whatever.
I've
Anyways.
had bad reactions
Yeah,
to medicine.
Yeah,
and
it
antibiotics.
happens. So Hormuz finishes his joke, right? And the audience is still kind of like, and then he gets off, and everyone's kind of like, right? It's very weird energy, right? Alex Hanna comes back on stage, and he like really turns the room around. He kind of addresses what happens. He's like, I don't agree with what he said, blah blah. He's like, but also we're all fucking adults. This is artistic expression, blah blah blah. Please don't heckle the artist and be quiet, blah blah. Everyone like starts kind of clapping, right? So it's kind of he
Boy,
does a
yeah,
good job
good.
at like resetting everything. And he pauses a moment. He looks at his list and he goes, now listen, if there's anyone that I truly feel that could reset this room, there's no one I trust right now more than this next comic. Nice round of applause for Renee Lancaster.
Awesome.
And everyone loses their goddamn minds. I'm howling in the background. Renee gets up on stage and he goes, so how about abortions,
Yeah, of
right?
course, yeah.
I
Yeah.
spit my
Yeah.
water out.
That's great.
The audience loses their mind, right?
That's
And then
easy for the pick.
Renee proceeds to have one of the best sets I've ever seen him have. Because his
course.
comedy is very like, weird.
I put him in those high price. I made him follow Chris Rock in a potluck one, and he had like a great set.
Diamonds,
Yeah, dude.
Pressure.
It was, but dude, it was one of the
That's
funniest
really
things I've ever seen. It was so funny.
That's really good. I like that. That's a great bomb story.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I've just seen a lot of lackluster. It's been tough recently. There's been some tough shows on and it's just hard when you have this certain amount, like a talent pool, and a lot of them are out of town, and you just I see like, oh, there's not going to be energy for 45 minutes at least.
Yeah.
You go, oh boy, that's a tough one. But Potluck's been really good. Wednesday shows have been really good.
Potluck's
been great.
Potluck's been great. I
Yeah.
think even before the pandemic, it was still pretty fucking solid.
I mean, every show is pretty much sold out.
Oh yeah,
And now even more. And they made a mistake that one time I was hosting, and now they've kept it going, which I think is sick. They had the early show for tickets, right? Or the early 7:00 potluck tickets.
Yeah.
And then they started reserving tickets for the late portion.
Yeah.
So now it's always full, and there's people waiting.
They need to
get
do that
in.
with the OR normally, though. You remember Brent used to go after 11, it's free, and there would be a
Yeah.
jolt of 25, 30 people.
oh yeah, and you have to reserve it, and that
Yeah, it was
if
great.
they reserve it, then
Yeah.
then they come.
Free, and
Yeah.
so I had
Yeah.
2 drinks, and there was a bunch of new people. But that's when we used to go to 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah. I
Now we
mean,
go to
We used to get
11.
up to 4 in the
I know.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, those were I heard stories like playing poker till like 6 a.m. Like, I don't know about all
Yeah,
that.
Huck had a poker game in the back.
I mean,
We
how
would do it
many
at the back bar. It was great.
One of
many-
the Thai bartenders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
how many times have you guys stayed? Like, what's the latest you've stayed here?
I spent the night here.
I mean, aside from spending.
He's like, I live here, dog.
Yeah.
I did the Dave Chappelle and Tiffany Haddish came in at like 2:00.
Yeah.
And then they had this like, he was just so drunk he just kept hitting on her over and over again, and she just kept shutting him down. It's pretty funny.
That'd be funny.
That was a fun
Wow,
one.
that's real.
And then
deep.
Sacha Baron Cohen and his little redheaded wife came, and they didn't tip me in the lot, and I had to park their car. It was hella hard. Also, Frank Ocean didn't tip.
Wow. Hey, wow, I looked at the camera for that.
Yeah.
On blast.
Can we talk about all the people who haven't tipped?
Yeah, I'm in.
I guess so, yeah.
No, what was
This is my past life. You go down.
One of the best stories was with Derek Hassan and oh god, what was his name? Jeffrey Burner.
Sure.
And
What was his name?
fuck, what's the Jewish comic who's not really a comic but was in a bunch of like movies with black people?
Oh,
Adam Sandler.
He's done stuff here.
The
not
Hebrew
Adam Sandler.
Hammer?
Not the Hebrew Hammer. Oh fuck, he's all ugly looking. He looks like Harvey Weinstein's brother. He does all the cat videos. He's like, Ma, there's a cat. You know, we got an ugly ass cat. You know who that guy is?
no, I don't know
Fuck.
the ugly ass cat videos.
God damn it, it's gonna bug me.
Okay, and
Anyways, he came in and he's notorious for not tipping. And then as he's like leaving, Hassan goes, "Hey,
I
did
know
he
what
not
you're
tip?"
talking
And,
no, that was with me. That was with
was it
me
you?
and
Okay.
Jeffrey Burner.
Yeah.
You're talking about the guy from Do the Right Thing, tall redheaded guy. Sucks.
Rappaport.
Michael Rappaport.
When he'd always come in here and wouldn't tip, and then he comes in here and he pulls up in his
Wow.
car, and then he leaves, and I go, I turn my hand, I shake, and then Burner goes as loud as he can. He goes, "Hey, did he tip?" And I go, "He didn't tip a fucking dollar." Then he gets out of his M7 and rushes over to Burner, and Burner's like really
Burner
small, but
loves
he's
the-
jacked too.
Yeah,
lives for the fight.
Burner has prison muscle. Burner's
Yeah,
one of those
Burner's-
guys.
yeah.
Well, he was on a college wrestling team.
Yeah,
he
he was-
likes to do that to
Yeah.
bigger guys. He was always challenging people
And then he
to
goes,
wrestle.
"What'd you say to me?" And then Burner goes, "I asked him if you gave him any money as a tip for valeting your car." And he went, "All right." He gave him $40.
At least he listened. At least he listened. Yeah.
It's one of those things where
Good
like,
for you, not bagging me.
if
Yeah.
you're not a paid regular, and yeah, you are a guest of, you know, so it's like, yeah, man, just fucking tip. Like, what's the big deal?
I think
just
he
don't
is a paid rag.
No.
No.
Nope.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Trust me, I pay fucking attention
That's
to who's in
pretty
the
cool.
main room
Dane's
and
still-
who doesn't get up in
Yeah,
that
Dane won't
OR.
get
Dane isn't.
Dane will never.
Shop ain't.
Too many people said no still.
Yep.
Which, yeah, that guy's a weirdo. I'd say less pedophiles, the better. That's what I go.
You know, sound policy in my mind.
I got a really easy one. No more pedophiles.
I remember getting in an argument with someone about why, like, certain people shouldn't be here and why it's better to invest in younger comics, and they were just like, "Nah, man, we need these people." I was like, "No, man, fuck them. There's younger, funnier
We're
comics
selling out
what this
shows.
place.
who are gonna. Yeah, we're still
Yeah.
selling out. We're still good. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need these people.
Wednesday nights are great, man.
Yeah, man.
Monday nights are awesome. Monday nights are fucking
Yeah.
really
dude.
good.
Really? I haven't been in a Monday in
Mondays
so
have
long.
turned into really
Bro.
good nights.
Monday is a hang.
What I really like
Yeah.
about Monday nights too, because I'm on the patio the whole time, and like I have to miss out on the belly room shows and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about bartending out front. You're on a little island. Like when the roast battle started, and like when it began, when it was almost a fist fight in the parking lot, and then it turned into a show.
Yeah.
Like, I would get everyone drunk, and then they would all run up there, and then I'd just be on the patio, like,
Yeah.
I wonder what's going on up there.
It was so funny because it would be dead empty, and then it all let out, and that patio
It's
would be
chaos,
fucking
yeah.
packed.
Yeah.
But what I love about Mondays is, especially now that we're having potluck again, is all the comics that are hanging on the patio, just like talking shop, and people are just hungry. People are hungry for comedy, hungry for stage time, and hungry to get better at comedy. And you hear, because I have bartender ears, I can hear freaking everything on the patio.
That's cool.
And you hear these conversations of people just like pumped about comedy, and there's just a good overall, like, we're headed in the right direction.
I
as
got the
a- as a
vibe died when you had to
Cool.
start doing the
Yeah.
emails.
That's really Comedy Store.
Yeah.
No,
I
because
thought the vibe died when they had to start doing emails.
I think it's made it more efficient because there's people who will still have the people who
Emails
want it,
what? Oh,
like email
potluck.
for the
You mean
potluck.
Yeah,
like signing
because it
up for
used to be 150 people would sign up, then they
People do the
linger.
deal and they come and they see it and they.
So just
That's
hang
how it
out.
goes. But it's
It's,
yeah.
it's less people getting waters. I know that
That's
much.
good. That's good. Yeah.
So it's there's give and take. It's way more comfortable. It's way less crazy in a bad
Yeah.
and a good way. but it's also, I mean, it's a little safer. I mean, physically it's safer. We used to
Yeah,
have
it keeps out the crazy.
180.
Yeah, people sign up.
180 is like the average people, and like I bet it would be way more because every
year,
every
so many-
documentary, every movie is like
Another 100
yeah,
people.
and I feel so embarrassed. I don't know how to like. I can't like. I'm not a plumber or electrician or something. You know what I mean? Like it's a, and I go, oh man, I gotta call it. You know,
And
But,
it's-
like
And it's so funny because those people will like all show up and they're like, "Why haven't I gotten on the list?" It was like, "Have you seen? There's 280 people. I barely know. I'm friends with maybe 10 or
and it's a
15 of
random
them.
like it is a random lottery. Like you don't have a great chance.
Better than the actual lottery, but
Yeah, for sure.
still not great.
I don't know what to tell. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. But I'm glad it's been good vibe with good people lately talking good things.
Yeah, people are into comment. I feel like with YouTube and with podcasts and with just like Netflix, there's just a ton of comedy, and the bubble hasn't burst.
No.
I don't know if it's going to.
And what else?
I feel like the
I thought
bubble
it
has
burst 5 years ago, and I was
no.
wrong.
Yeah, I think it's still going to keep going. But also, what I'm starting to see now, and Moses said this to me too, was the roast battle was almost 5, 6, 7 years
the
ago.
morose battle.
The roast battle. Roast battle was like 5, 6, 7 years ago. So there's like young kids that are watching all this shit. Yeah, it was almost 10 years ago. There's people watching it now who are coming out who are just like, oh, I know you, or I've seen it. And then there's people who are like just digesting and just consuming comedy at a much faster rate.
Yeah.
So like they're all starting to come out, and there's like you're starting to see like people with like fan bases starting to pop up. You know, like my numbers have been going up steady.
So
It's
the
crazy.
nerds who were young, who were hanging out and watched Comedy Central late night.
Yeah.
Who were like,
It's like
who
me-
were like
old
who were
enough to
not
come
hanging
to
out
the-
in high school, but like staying in and watching.
It
Comedy
was like me in
Central.
2007 when I was
and
like
then
18.
Comedy Central's not doing like original programming anymore. They're just showing The Office and like
Yeah.
Yeah, it really sucks.
They're really bleeding out of the fucking toilet.
Detroiters was great, man.
Detroiters was great.
Shit, dude.
Put that back on.
Everyone thinks you fucked up.
Devereaux Wiggs.
absolutely, they
So
fucked
funny.
up, dude.
It's such a bummer.
Well,
And you could do great. You could do great
could.
IP.
Yeah.
Y'all really need to bring back that set of the night show on Sundays.
Yeah.
That really
Set
helped
of
the
the night was-
bartender.
Oh,
That's
as
good for the
a-
bartender. Is the best way to get somebody up on potluck too.
And I loved hosting that shit.
Yeah, you did. You were mean.
What do you
that
mean?
was fun to me.
What do I mean?
I used to be mean on that too. That
How was I mean?
was fun.
Oh, come on.
Give me an example
Be
of how I was
honest.
mean.
As roast battler Frank,
Yeah.
you weren't mean.
Yeah, we were mean on that. I remember that.
It was not that I wasn't mean, but I definitely like teased people and was like, you know. But also, that's how
Yeah,
you
poke
guys
a
were
little
all to
bit.
me when
I've never teased anyone in my life.
It's the back of the room shit.
Yeah. Thank you guys for being on the show. I'm going to close out unless we have last thoughts.
I got one.
Yeah.
Hey, check out my podcast on this network called This Week in Crime with Saul Trujillo. We look up crazy crimes. We say some truly terrible things about these people. Check it out. Bye.
Where can people find you online if we're
At
going
Scuba
out of order?
Steve
I was
Fury.
gonna-
Scuba like you're diving, not Scooby-Doo. Steve Fury.
Frank Castillo on Instagram.
Frank, where can people find you?
Frank Castillo on Instagram. I got 2 podcasts, Peaked on YouTube.
How do you spell
and
that?
PEAKD.
Apostrophe or no?
apostrophe D.
Yeah.
And then I also on another podcast
Helping
called
you even with your own grammar. It's like fake grammar that I know better than you.
If that isn't our whole relationship.
I'm not on Facebook anymore, but what I would do a lot was correct Frank's grammar. I would always go there.
and my Spanish.
Your, yeah. Un poquito, yeah.
Masonic Smoker podcast on YouTube as well.
Very cool. Mr. Mirv, Ryan Mirvis.
I'm at Ryan Mirvis on all the socials. I don't have a podcast yet. One day.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I haven't found the right
Well,
thing yet.
rate and subscribe to this one, even if you don't listen. Rate it and write a review. That helps, I think, on whatever platform. Just if you care enough, whatever. Who cares? Thank you. And at Luke Does Stuff on Twitter, which I'm just ignoring.
on Twitter?
I'm ignoring all the shit, and I'm just kind of tweeting. It's kind of fun.
I mean, you should, yeah.
Yeah, it's really stupid. It's not much different. It's very interesting, and it sucks. Instagram, I'm on there. I mean, what are you gonna do? Tony, Jesus, thank you. I guess. See you next week. Probably forgetting something. Thanks. Bye.